Welcome to Jubilee Coach. You're listening to the Drive-Thru Sanctuary, when church becomes a convenience. In 2009, Pastor Daniel Eggold published a prophetic warning about the McDonaldization of the church. Nearly 20 years later, in 2026, that warning feels more urgent than ever. We have moved from the drive-thru window into an Amazon Prime era of faith, where we subconsciously expect our spiritual growth to be delivered instantly, effortlessly, and strictly on our own terms. Before we dive into Eggold's full essay, titled Consuming Communion, let's set the stage with a few key takeaways. Eggold argues that many of us approach the altar with a have-it-your-way mindset. We ask, what can I get out of this? Or is this service taking too long? He counters this by pointing to the Vita Passiva, the passive or receptive life. In this view, worship isn't something we produce or consume through our own effort. Instead, it is something we suffer or undergo. It is a space where we stop doing and simply let God act upon us. With that in mind, here is Daniel Eggold's essay, Consuming Communion. Eggold begins by reminding us that the Lord's Supper is a feast of hope, a joyful looking forward to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Yes, he notes, it is hard to picture an eternal mystery when our mental model for satisfaction is driving up to a McDonald's for a burger or a Coke. We live in a society that values production, consumption, and physical comfort above all else. So he asks us, how can the Lord's Supper compete with the multiple appeals of the shopping mall? The answer is, it cannot, and that we shouldn't even try. And Eggold highlights how consumerism demands constant activity. Even our relationship with God becomes objectified. Grace becomes a thing to be obtained through the latest program or book. But when we view the sacrament through the lens of the Vita Passiva, everything changes. We're no longer users of a religious product. We are recipients. As Martin Luther wrote, we go to the sacrament because we receive there a great treasure. In this meal, God shatters our false self-images. He shares His own body and blood so that we can finally see ourselves and the world as He does. In conclusion, this essay serves as a diagnostic tool. It asks us to consider if we are carrying the spirit of the shopping mall into the sanctuary. As you finish listening, I invite you to consider where in your life can you move from being a consumer to being a recipient. This has been an audio presentation of the Drive-Thru Sanctuary. I hope you'll take the time to read the full text that's included in our homepage. Godspeed.